Hey guys, there we go. We are live. Hello, hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. Let's just get this, make sure this is all set. All right, I think we're good. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to SoulPet. We will get to everybody's. I see everybody. You guys are really active with your questions tonight, so I can't wait to start answering some of those. There's some really interesting ones. I cannot wait to share the story of my connection with Nana. Pat, how did you even know to ask that? Me asking you that question, I already have the answer to, but I had to ask it anyway because it ties right into the things that I want to talk about tonight. Um, Amazing experience with Nana on Saturday morning that I will share with you guys. But first, for those of you who are watching this for the very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master and an animal chaplain and an animal, I guess you could say, medium. I connect with animal companions on the other side of life. And we have this beautiful community here now called SoulPet. And the SoulPet live streams happen every single Monday. And we just get together as a group of people who have all been supporting each other through the loss of an animal companion or more than one in our life. And we hug each other and we talk to each other and we share stories of our beautiful animal companions. And I like to share messages of hope and healing from our animals on the other side and just for all of us in general, some beautiful inspirational messages that help us move forward, help us heal after our animal companions have crossed before us. So let's go ahead and get started. The way this works is that I will say hello to all of our channel members first, then I'll greet everyone who's watching us live. And whether or not you are watching this during the live or a day from now or 10 years from now, I know that there's a beautiful message here for you. And we are so happy to have you here. If you are someone watching for the very first time, I encourage you to comment, say hello, share your animal companion's name. You can share a little bit about their story. You are welcome here. Everyone is embraced here. There is no judgment. This is a safe, secure space where we can all share our love for animals on whatever part of the journey we're on our path to healing after their passing. I love to say hello to all my channel members, then I'll recognize everybody who is just watching the live stream, and then we'll do Q&A. So there's a lot of everybody. Pat always gets us started off right with these really good questions. We have Q&A, and I'm happy to respond to questions and answers that come up, during the live stream that I'm happy to answer if I can. And if I can't, then they're usually the topic for a future live stream. And then tonight's topic was actually inspired by someone who reached out to me, whose animal companion is still here on this side of life, and the questions that she had about the eventual passing of her beautiful animal companion. And it inspired all the things because she asked all the questions that everybody asks. And I think I have a little bit different twist on it that I want to share with you guys tonight. But first, let's say hello to everybody. And I am just within an hour, 2 hours, within 2 hours back from Colorado. I had a last minute chance to jump on a plane to Colorado on Friday, and I figured I'm going to spend the weekend there. And I did. I spent the weekend in Colorado under the sun, beautiful sunshine, beautiful weather, hanging out with my daughter, and it just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous weekend. But I am happy to be back in my space and to see you guys here, and I have some good stories to share. So let's say hello to Pat first. Pat, you are awesome with the questions. I've got lots of good stuff to answer for you. One of them, though, confuses me, but let's say hello first, and then we'll get back to that. Kali, it is great to see you. Welcome from Canada, or a big shout out to Canada. Let's see, scroll down. Lots of good questions. Oh my gosh, we have great questions here. Sherry, great to see you. And Sharon, awesome as always. We have Kali again. We have Sherry. Let's see. Oh, Kathy H, great to see you here. Hello, hello. And Z, awesome to have you here also. So as more channel members jump on, I will say hello to them. I don't think I missed anybody who's highlighted in green has signed up to join the actual community. But let's go say hello to Robbie. Hey, thank you so much, Robbie Dill. You look 18. You do too. Shirley, it's good to see you. Hello to Texas. That's a big shout out to Texas. Ella, good to have you here. Keep on scrolling down to see who else I'm missing. Jody, Lisa. Who else have I got? Christy. All right, good to see you guys. And as anybody new jumps on, I will be happy to say hello. Ms. There's Cheryl. There's Cheryl, Ms. Nunya, New York business. Thanks for all the waves. Okay. let's go back to these questions. So, and we'll start with the first one. Great way to kick off our discussion tonight, Pat, and that's asking about Nana. For those of you who have been following my channel since it's now we're going, I don't even know how many, episode 72. That's all I know. 72 live streams we've done like this. Woohoo! 72. I'm ready for triple digits. I'm ready to break 100. For those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you know who Nana is. Nana is my mother-in-law who passed in, October 2024. And she has been my inspiration when she was in the physical, and she remains my inspiration now on the other side. We talk about her frequently. She was an avid watcher of this channel every week, and now she watches from the other side of life. And she has beautiful things that she always shares. My daughter and I together this weekend went out to watch a couple of sunsets because we always think of her as the sun is setting. There's beautiful skies, and she appreciated a beautiful sunrise and a beautiful sunset. So we think of her often at that time, at the twilight time of night. What was I saying? So for those of you who have been following me, you know who Nana is. Oh, for those of you who have not been following me, are new to this channel or watching this, at some future dates, Nana is my mother-in-law. She passed. And what an amazing soul. She was an energy healer. She was an actual physician who practiced energy healing along her medicine practice. So she's given me so much inspiration. This weekend, we went bike riding. It was a bike ride on a Saturday morning, and there's this canyon in Colorado that we love to ride in. It's called Waterton Canyon, and it is no motorized vehicles there. You can only either walk or ride your bike. So we're riding bikes, and it's a really cool place to go to watch bighorn sheep. So the bighorn sheep, they come down from the mountains, and there's a beautiful mountain creek that runs through there, so that they come down from the mountains and they get their water at the creek, and they're very socialized. Not socialized as in you're allowed to approach them, and they still may, if you get too close to their space, they may, kind of push you off. But as long as you keep your distance, they're generally not easily spooked. So we were there to take in all of the beautiful nature, to take in the beautiful sun, to look at the beautiful views, to get to a place where we didn't have to listen to any traffic, where there was no noise. And we're riding our bikes. So we're having a beautiful morning. We go down to the creek, we take our shoes off, we're walking in the water. It's just absolutely beautiful, serene morning. And we started telling family stories. And naturally, the conversation goes to Nana, and we're telling stories and we're talking, and we get back on our bikes and it's time for us to go. We're leaving, and I can't remember what brought up the conversation, but when Nana first became sick, she had a stroke. When Nana first had her stroke, it was very distressing to my daughter. So I have a very different perspective of life and death, as most of you know. But for others, it can be a very fearful experience. And my daughter said she came to this part of the canyon. Now, this is as we're leaving. She came to this part of the canyon because she was looking for some solace, and she was looking for some connection. And even though Nana was still in the physical, she was speaking to her across time and space. And she was just holding a conversation with her and praying for her highest good, and for some hope, and for a message, and for a sign that she was going to be okay, that everything was going to be okay. And she said, out of the woods walked a beautiful deer, and it just walked towards her. Now, I told a story about a deer last week, similar situation. So I'm making a connection now with deer. The deer walks out of the woods and doesn't approach her, but is right there with her in her space, calm, peaceful. And my daughter said she was filled with such a serene sense of peace and serenity and calm. And she just knew that everything was going to be okay. So we are riding our bikes, and you have to cross this little street, and all the traffic that is on that street has to come to a stop. All the pedestrians and bikes have the right of way. We cross the street, and my daughter says, it was just such a beautiful memory to remember that space where Nana came out of the woods as a deer and let us know that she was fine and everything was fine. And as she said that, you guys have to know what this is, right? The deer walks out of the woods. The deer just walks straight out of the woods, comes over to the path right where we are. We both said good morning. We were like, good morning, Nana. It's so nice to see you. Thanks for coming out and hanging with us. And this deer was just looking at us, unafraid, spent a few minutes with us. And then it started to get a little busy. And I suggested that perhaps she wanted to run back into the woods, and off she went. And we were like, oh, okay, Nana, thank you so much for being our inspiration from heaven and for coming through as a deer. So if anybody else has any other cool deer experiences they want to share, usually we talk about like cardinals and butterflies and dragonflies, and but that deer, that means something. So I'm going to scroll down real quick just because I saw some comments scrolling by. Hi, Caroline. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Kathy H. I think we have Kathy H and Kathy. I might have already said hello to Kathy H. Yes, I did. Okay. Well, hello again. All right. Scrolling back to the questions. Does she give me inspiration? 100%. Any of my family members who have crossed to the other side, and friends, there was a very small circle of friends that my parents were friends with. We were a very tight-knit group that always went camping. So as a child, there were three families, three families. And we all went camping together all the time. And all of the people that are my parents' age, except for my mom, they've all crossed over. So I often think of them as sitting around a campfire all together, just encouraging all of us, because they all had children, and encouraging all of us who are still here and giving us inspiration. That applies to all of you. I know from the bottom of my soul, I know that our ancestors, our loved ones, our relatives, they're all there, and our animal companions are all together supporting us. They're our team. We are the ones who are still in the thick of of life, and we have a team of souls who are behind us, and that's them, including our beautiful Nana. The collective memory is from previous similar systems. This influences their behavior and development. Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Let's go back and read that again, Pat. This collective memory, all right, I'm guessing that this is the memory of everything, is from previous similar systems. This influences their behavior and development. Okay, I can't, maybe you can give me a little bit more clarity about what that question is. I'm going to scroll down for a sec just to see if, okay, no. So I'm not 100% sure about that. Oh, I see. It's continued in the next thing. Based on this premise, could our dreams just be scenes from previous lives? Just a thought. I think that I say this all the time, but I also mean it with all sincerity. There are no rules. We think that there are rules. We have been handed books full of rules. We have been handed teachings full of rules about everything. Everything's got these rules. Well, don't bother me with your silly rules anymore. I'm saying that out loud to the rule makers. There are no rules. So when it comes to dreams, could they possibly be from a previous life? 100%. I know I've had a dream that I have no explanation for other than that it occurred in a previous incarnation of myself. It was so clear, so vivid, so unusual that I know that that's what it had to be. It can be previous lives. It can be messages. They can be, I don't want to say predictions, because predictions means that our future is written, and that's not the case. That we have free will and we make decisions all the time that influence the way that our future goes. But they can give us inclinations about decisions that we need to make. They can give us insight, inspiration. So dreams can be all kinds of things. Dreams can just be fun. Dreams can also just be a way for our subconscious to let go of some of the stressors that we hang on to during the day. But yes, previous lives, and we've all had them. We've all had many lives. There are things like old souls, new souls, souls who have been around the block a couple of times, souls who've been back to the planet or elsewhere throughout the universe. And I think that all of us, because we have it's compressed in time, and I don't have my little, okay, let's use this. So let's just say that this is all of your lives, and they're on one little thing of Post-its, but yet there's 100 of them here, and they're all on top of each other. So it's not like we have lives in the past and in the future and in the present. We have multiple iterations of ourselves in all different times and space. That's a whole conversation we could get into for a whole nother time, but I just wanted to put that out there. Can our animal companions' souls reincarnate into two bodies at once? Well, same thing applies. The answer is absolutely yes. They can do 10 if they wanted to. We can do 10 if we wanted to. We can do anything. We can do anything that we choose. Are we always consciously aware of that existence? No, because we're choosing to forget. We're choosing to play different roles. The greater part of our soul that resides in the field. I'm not going to say on the other side because there is no other side. It's this field that's all around us. The greater part of our soul that resides in the quantum field can experience anything it wants to experience. And we are now physically experiencing an incarnation here, but can animals, the answer is yes. And they can, I'm trying to organize my thoughts. They can be in two animals at once, or they can simply come through and reincarnate as like twins, or they can share. So an animal companion that's already here, like my gypsy does, when Jack and Lucy are looking for a little snuggle with me, I see their qualities come through. So they can do that also. I don't know if I answered that question well enough, but yes, they can they reincarnate into two bodies at once? Yes, they can. And I'm going to have to maybe explore that a little bit further so I can give it a better explanation for you. But I love the idea of soul twins. We're going to write that down right now. I can't say that I've ever heard it called that, but would it be that? Yes. And is that sometimes the reason? I'm going to throw this hypothetical out to you guys, because I know that somebody has a question in here. It might have come up on the questions from my client. Why do we get so attached to them, but why do we get so attached to like one in particular? Why, even though I loved Jack and Lucy and I will never stop loving them and they're always with me all the time, why for that brief period of time did Winston come into my life in such a way that I took him with me everywhere. I carried him with me everywhere. He was a little dog. And why was that? Could it be that we are soul twins? Like, he was just a reflection of me in a little dog's body. And when he left, it was a part of me that was leaving. And so that's maybe why it felt so intense and why I loved him so much. And why I grieved for him so hard, more than I did for the others. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. Let's go on to more questions. He also has an interesting YouTube. We're trying to get to this video, Pat. I think I saw some other questions. A YouTube video called End of Life Experiences in Animals. I don't know who the he is, but I would love to know, because I would love to learn more about that. I am always watching all kinds of things. I'm reading all kinds of books. And so if you can give me more information about that, end of life experiences in animals would be fascinating to me. For example, the things that give us a cue to let us know that our animal companions are crossing. When our animal companions are getting ready to transition, and this also ties directly into the client who reached out to me last week. When our animals are going to transition, they do exhibit some behaviors. Not only do they exhibit some behaviors, but if we are open to it, we'll be able to witness some of the signs to give us a little bit of a heads up, to give us a warning that they are getting ready to transition. And although it may cause us to feel some anticipatory grief, it's more about helping us prepare. They are helping us prepare for what is going to happen. So how can they help us? How can they make their transition easy and peaceful and calm for us as they transition? And they do some other things. Cats will run and hide. There are some behavioral things. They'll stop eating, they'll stop drinking, but that's the normal physiological things. They may do some other things. They may want snuggles all of a sudden when they didn't used to snuggle before, or just the opposite. They may choose some solitude when they always used to be snuggly. They may start staring off at a corner. They may stare at a wall. Sometimes animals do this. It's a neurological result of dementia and of their brain naturally starting to shut down. That's the physiological component. The spiritual component is that they are often already experiencing, I call it traveling, journeying, like little test journeys. They're testing the waters on the other side, and they may look like they are not consciously aware of where they are at the present moment. Their physical body is here, but their spirit is actually testing the waters over there. That happens with people in addition to animals also. That little journey, they take a little trip to the other side and then sometimes come back, as Lucy did for a whole weekend. Lucy was gone for a weekend. Her body was still with us, but we don't know where she went. And when she came back, I'm certain that she had an NDE, which is a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience. Although her physical body had not actually died, she was not present in her body. And when she came back, she chose to come back and experience. She ran down this. I'll never forget it. I will not ever forget it. On Monday morning, after she had spent the weekend essentially in a coma, I would say. I don't know if that was medically correct. While she had spent the weekend like that, she woke up on Monday morning and bounded down the steps like she was a puppy. She had the best next 3 months of her life. So it's almost as if she had gone to the other side, tested the waters, and decided, I think I'm going to hang out here for just a little while longer, and I'm going to take these for as long as I've got. I'm going to have as much fun as I possibly can. So there are signs that when they're getting ready to cross to the other side. Sometimes we miss them, and sometimes that's part of our journey. We may miss the sign, and then after they cross, we realize that we missed the sign, and then we hold ourselves in a place of guilt and remorse and regret, which is so much of what we have to help work ourselves through too. But they usually always have some kind of tell that lets us know if they're going to be transitioning on their own. How can we reconcile the pain and feelings? Betrayal, they're nice, but they're not my precious. Name of SoulPet. Open ourselves up to love fully again. How can we reconcile the feelings like betrayal? So I'm guessing, Kali, that what you're saying is, if we are ready to bring another animal companion into our life, we don't want to feel like we're betraying the animal companions who were here before us. I want you to think of if this was a person, if this was a loved one, and they cross to the other side. And I mean loved one as in like a family member, so a very close family member, transitions to the other side. Would they want to see you not ever love again? The answer is no. Your animal companion is the same way. Would they want to see you just wasting away without love in your life here in our physical bodies? And the answer is no. They want us to love again. They want us to keep experiencing. They want us to be happy more than anything else. They want us to be happy. And the root of all happiness is love. Everybody just wants to be loved. We all want to be loved for who we are. And when your animal companion crosses, there's no jealousy. They harbor no ill will. They would want for you to welcome a new animal. So you bring a new animal into your home. Let's go. I'm going to use Gypsy because it's true. I bring Gypsy into my house. Oh my gosh, she has become such a partner in my life that I can't quite explain how she was when I first adopted her to who she has become over these 4 years. With that said, she's not Jack and Lucy, and she's not Winston. And Jack and Lucy had spent their entire lives with me. So there's something different, and it's okay. It's totally okay. I love my beautiful Gypsy. She loves me. We snuggle, we love. Will she ever be the soul pet that Jack and Lucy were? I'm not 100% sure, but I feel things even growing. The longer she is with me in my life, the closer she comes to being that. So maybe it also gently evolves over time when it's not the flame of like a soul flame. It's not that kind of love where it's just a deep, endearing, soulful love. It becomes something that is just part of you. So I wouldn't stress about that. I would not, just because you feel something differently, there's no betrayal, and love comes in many different forms. And I would be open to it. And can you ever love fully again? Even if you don't feel like you love fully again at this moment in time, let it evolve over time. Okay, Kali, you saw that video as well and had mixed feelings about it. I'd love to know which video you guys are talking about. Why do we attach more to certain animal companions? Okay, I think I just answered that. We love them all, but certain ones just resonate. Oh no, I didn't answer that. I'm going to answer this one. We love them all, but certain ones just resonate. Have you ever fallen madly in love? Like, have you really, really ever loved, like fallen madly in love, and there's no feeling like it, and you have got a soulmate, and that's what they are, and there's no getting around it. You are so deeply in love that it does not matter. Nobody could ever match the depth of that love. It's a soulmate. That's what it is. It's a soulmate, and we're not going to feel that way about every person. I can say that I've loved many people in my life, but there's only one or two that I would say had that depth of my love. So when certain ones resonate with us, I'm trying to read the comment as I was trying to gather my thoughts. As that love resonates with us, just lean into it and don't worry. There's no judgment about scale of love. Oh, you love this one more than you love this one. Don't worry about it. Pat says, oh wait, why aren't they all like that? Because we're all meant to experience different things and we all have different soulmates. That's the best answer I have for that at this moment in time, but I may come back to that too. This week, I feel Logan has shown up in various reincarnated forms. Aha, for no reason at all. A dove, a squirrel, a gecko standing on your deck railing and just staring at you like, hello, here I am. Because they can do anything they want. And you will be able to also. When you leave this physical body and you go on to the other side, you can come back as a gecko and haunt somebody else. It's they can do it, and that they got your attention. Pat, that you saw that it was Logan. That's all Logan was doing. Logan was having fun. Logan's playing. Logan's going, okay, now let's be a squirrel, because I used to love to chase squirrels, so now I'm going to be a squirrel. It doesn't matter. Spider, anything. They can come back as anything at all. When they get your attention by looking right at you, you know that they're there. You know that they're there. Did you get my request for a reading for Pudge? Oh, you know what? I have to go back and I'll go back and look, Pat. I'm certain that I did, but I will go back and double check for that for reading for Pudge. Today I was doing house chores. I think I missed a question. Oh, were you able to take on the lady who wanted mentoring? Pat, I don't remember who that was. I don't remember specifically. I have so many students that are taking different classes, and I don't remember one in particular looking to be mentored. But I'll have to go back and see what I can find in any of our videos, or if you want to shoot me an email that to kind of remind me who that was, because I would not ever want to overlook somebody. I really don't. And I get so many messages now and so many emails, and that it becomes challenging, but I don't want to ever overlook anybody who's asking for help. Did you get my, okay, we did that. Today I was doing housework. Phoebe and Piper, and the lights went flashing. Easy sign, easy sign. Great that you recognized it. Who's the person you're talking about? Thank you. We just asked that question. Never voiced out loud. They're not the same, but I wouldn't want them to feel it either. It's okay. It's okay. If I can put your mind to ease about the different varieties of love that we feel for each other, for different people. Why are we drawn to certain people more than others? Why do we have a certain circle of friends? Why are we close to one sister and not the other? Why does one brother make us crazy, but why do we love our mom more than our dad? All of that is not relevant. Your heart is meant to explore all the various kinds of love. The greater part of every single living thing's soul resides in the field, and every single soul knows what we're doing here. And if anything, they might try to guide us. They might try to give us inspiration or signs or messages or guidance. But they are not going to be throwing lightning bolts at us or trying to haunt us because we feel differently about one than another. It's totally okay. It's okay. Don't judge yourself. You love the way that your heart feels. The heart wants what the heart wants in whatever form it wants to take. Imposter syndrome. We want to connect with them, but there's a block in the way. Oh, I must have missed something. Imposter syndrome. Maybe I should address that in a future video as well, or maybe we'll get to it tonight. We'll see how the time goes. Imposter syndrome, if anybody's not familiar, I'm familiar with it from my corporate life. And oftentimes women experience imposter syndrome. That is not any kind of sexist comment. It simply is, because as women began to enter the corporate world, they didn't feel that they were as skilled or talented as their male counterparts, and it became a thing. So that you were always wondering, okay, if they find out about me, if they actually recognize that I don't know what the heck I'm doing, somebody's going to wake up one day and realize that chick never knew what she was doing. I've said this to myself because I've changed my career 6 times. My corporate career, I made multiple switches over time, and maybe that's why it was so easy to walk away and do something completely different. But in one of them, when I was in my 40s, I transitioned out of a career and into a completely different profession. And I got a job. I applied for a job and got a job that I didn't think I was qualified for at all. And I don't even know why they offered it to me. That's what I kept telling myself. I have no clue why they offered this to me. How am I going to pull this off? this is going to be such a either a house of cards, or it's going to be such a magic act that I'm pulling off here, that one day somebody's going to come to me and realize that I had no clue what I was doing. They're going to boot me out. No, it wasn't that way at all. That was my personal feelings of insecurity. That was the little wounded girl inside of me who was criticized by the nuns, who was criticized in her younger years, and squashed down. And that little girl was like, oh God, somebody's gonna recognize that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna get in so much trouble. That's an easy way to let it go. So why are we talking about imposter syndrome? Because when we try to connect with animals, I'm going to use animals as the example, but it could be anything. If you're trying to connect with animals, if you are trying to connect with your own animal, if you're trying to communicate with the neighbor's dog that won't stop barking down the street, if you want to go to the zoo and connect with the animals who are in captivity, and you're going, okay, this is silly. I'm not even going to tell anybody that I'm doing this because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. That's imposter syndrome. You don't need imposter syndrome because we all have this gift, and I'm using my air quotes. We all have this ability. We're born with it. There is no getting around it. It's culturally squashed. It is socially not taught. It is, so we have to evolve into it. And it takes a little bit of practice before you start to feel a little bit before you feel confidence, and that imposter syndrome begins to go away. Trust me, it still pops up for me from time to time. It still crops up. And when I recognize it, that's what I talk. I talk to little Elaine. She wears a cowgirl hat and cowgirl boots. And my little self, I go back to her and say, look where you are. Look what you can do. You are so talented. You have so many gifts. Everything is working out just fine for you. So don't be afraid. You know exactly what you're doing. You can have that same conversation with your little boy self or little girl self. Your younger self, your little child self, let's put it that way. We want to connect with them, but there's a block in the way. Well, the block is usually this thing that's right between our two ears. The block is usually our thought. And when we're going to get to this in just a second, when we can really start to trust our intuition, then that block goes away. Okay, the breakdown about guilt. Totally get it. We're going to talk about it in a second. I'm going to let that one go. A Timu version of I'm starting to bond more with Oz, but he's holding back. It's like he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. There is no other shoe. There's no other shoe. And you can have that conversation with the shoe. There's no other shoe. I'm not giving you back. There's no other shoe. The Timu version. That's hilarious. I love that, the Timu version. And if you're hesitant, wait till if you're hesitant, don't let anybody make any decision that you're not ready to make. That'll come back up in a second. Ella, love getting those can't miss signs. So I'm scrolling through these comments too fast, and I'm sure that I'm missing something. So if I have missed something really, really important and you've got a good question and I've scrolled over it, go back and let me know. But we're a half hour in, and I want to make sure that we get to this topic. And you guys do such a great job of supporting each other. I'm so grateful for that. You do such an amazing job of supporting each other. Rupert Sheldrake. Okay, so Rupert Sheldrake is one of my favorite authors. If he is somebody who I would highly recommend. Rupert Sheldrake is the author of, bear with me while I get this book. Among many other books, he's authored many. He's been on many interviews. He is amazing. He's amazing. He's got a very practical approach to these topics that we talk about. So this is one of my favorite books. Dogs That Know When Their Owners are Coming Home, and Other Unexplained Power of Animals. Rupert Sheldrake. There you go. One of my all-time favorite books. I've got highlights. Dog ears. And he gives all kinds of information. This book is really cool because he talks about how the relationship began, how we began to bring animals into our home as companions, why we did that, and what it has resulted in. But all kinds of things about animal communication, really good stories, more than just anecdotes. They're more than just stories. They've got some validation and experiments that he's also done, where he has tested his theory about animals who know. So animals are natural psychics. They are completely, they have no, because they don't second guess it. They don't question it. They don't have imposter syndrome. If they believe they can talk to us telepathically, then they just do it, and they're doing it all the time. We're the ones who are letting all the noise of our earthly material world get in the way of being able to receive those messages. But okay, shameless plug. If you take my animal communication and Reiki class, I can teach you some tips and tricks for understanding your animal's language. So Rupert Sheldrake, awesome author, and among other things. Has a class for Reiki healing a minute right now, and I'll be doing it again. And I have an in-person one this coming Sunday. So it's I keep getting called to do it more and more. So I'm just going to keep on going. I will keep you guys in the loop. I always let you guys know. Channel members always get the first notification when I'm going to host a class. I scrolled too fast. I saw something that said my mom passed. Darn, I hate when that happens because the comments are scrolling. There we go. I found it. My mom passed, used to have a deer and a baby visit her. A deer and a baby came to visit me and continued every spring. Okay, there you go. Kali, there's the deer. There's something about the deer that I'm going to have to check into a little bit further. I love to think about animals as like certain characteristics, that they're, and like cardinals who come knocking at the window when someone passes. There's something about the deer. I'm going to just keep on going here, and I am going to just see if I'm going to miss anything before I keep going. The universe shows us signs reflecting back. I had swarms of dragonflies. I love that. We also had swarms of butterflies on Saturday. What is daily Reiki practice? Okay, that's a topic definitely for another day. I can give you guys some tips on Reiki. Reiki simply means it's the universal love, universal energy. It's the life force that flows to, through, and around us. And there are ways that you can practice with yourself that help you regain balance in your energy centers so that you can make the connection to the field. But way too complicated to talk about tonight because I want to talk about these questions that come up time and again. Still want to see my girls. Always had the feeling with my positions in corporate feeling incapable. Yeah, okay. That's, imposter syndrome. Okay, this is what we want to talk about tonight. I had a client reach out to me whose animal companion is still here, and she's looking for some assistance, and I won't use names. She's looking for some guidance, some mentoring, even just an ear to listen to help her make the decision. So her doggie is aging, significantly aging, and is going through some physical problems. And is it time? She wanted to know, how do I make the decision? How do I know if it's time? What if it was too soon? These questions that I'm going to share with you that come up time and again, they come up in different forms, but they all kind of mean that they're very, very similar in what they mean. So this one was, if I make this decision to assist my dog's transition, what if it's too soon? What if he wasn't meant to go yet? What if he's not ready? What if the day after I do it, I realize that I've made a big mistake? And I listened. So what my main role is to listen. So I will not ever make a decision for someone in that regard. It is between you, your animal companion, your higher power, whatever that is for you, and include your veterinarian in that. So if you're having medical care for your animal companion, so that is your family, that's a decision that I am unable to make for someone. I can help guide you to understand your own feelings and your own thoughts, and suggest ways that you can connect with your animal companion to get to see what they would like to do. But the point is that I listen. And as I'm listening, I'm explaining I talked about the pros. If you want to, don't even call it pros and cons. If you made one choice, here is what the outcome might be, and here's the reason why a lot of people make the choice to assist. Let's flip the coin, flip the pancake, is what I like to say. I love flip the pancake. Let's look at the other side of the pancake. If you decide to continue on and not assist your beautiful doggy in transition, here's what you can expect. Here's what normally happens. And then I also will give some resources for hospice care. So we're talking all through this and letting her, and I said, just take some time. There's no immediate rush. And if your animal companion decides that it's time on their own, well, then the decision is made for you. But if you're really struggling with this decision, then you should really, really dwell on it, like journal about it, talk about it, think, pray on it if that's what you do. Sit with your doggy and really get a sense of what they're feeling. And she said, I'm not feeling it. And I said, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. She said, I am not feeling that this is the right time. I feel I should not be assisting. I know that I should not be assisting. It doesn't feel right to me at all. And I thought it was a wonderful place to come to, but here's the kicker. She said, it's my family and my friends who keep judging me, who keep saying you are being mean, you're being cruel, that if there's pain, but she said, when I sit with my doggy and he's happy and we go outside, and yeah, does he need help down the steps? He does. Does he sometimes mess himself? He does. Can I tell that he wakes up some mornings and he's not feeling his best? Absolutely. Do I feel that he's ready to go? I don't feel it. I don't feel it, she said. That is where I would, and we did have a long talk then about how you deal with, which is not the topic of this, it's about feeling it. We did have a long talk about what you do with people who are judging you. It's you and your animal companion, and only you and your animal companion with guidance can reach the decision that needs to be made. So what's the point of all that? I'm going to read for you these questions. What if I make the wrong decision? How do I know when the time is right? This comes up all the time. Is my pet happy on the other side, or did my pet make it safely to the other side? Will their pain ever end? Will this pain ever end? Will this pain that I'm feeling right now after they've crossed ever end? Why does it still hurt so much? That's the other version of that comes through. Do my other animals feel these same things? Do they feel the same feelings I'm feeling about their animal companion who has crossed? You already know the answer. Every single one of those questions, you know the answer to. When you are looking outside of yourself for that answer, it's generally because we're not trusting our own intuition. We're afraid that we're doing it wrong, that we're getting the wrong information. And that's why I want to share with you some things tonight that will help you get the answer to any question like that. And it all has to do with being able to lean into the feeling of it. The feeling of it. So what does that feel like? When you know, so as I'm talking to this person and she's telling me, we're talking through all the different options. We're talking about the alternatives. We're talking about what to expect. We're talking about who to reach out to. We're talking about judgment. We're talking about guilt. And then to suddenly get to the place where, but wait, I know and by not feeling, I mean, I'm not feeling that it's right. I do not think that this is the time. You come to a place where the decision becomes so clear. And that's for all of these things. For all of these things that you already know the answer to, your soul, your higher self already has all the answers for you. Your animal companion already has all the answers for you. I'm going to give you just a couple little brief answers to these questions, and then I'm going to share with you what I would do to help you find your own answers. I am guessing that there may even be questions that you haven't asked that you want to ask. There may be things that you want to know that you haven't asked, or that you aren't believing that you're getting the answer to. So how do I make peace with a difficult decision? And did I make the right choice? You have to go inside to your heart. It won't ever be too soon. That doesn't happen. So I'm just going to do some easy things here to help ease people's minds who might be going through this. You cannot do something too soon. Your animal companion is on a journey. They have a soul. They are sentient beings. Their connection to their God or higher power, whatever you want to call it, that's beyond our control. Everything we cannot play God. There's my air quotes again. We are incapable of playing God. And I'm using the word God, and I know that some people are triggered by that, but it's the best word I have for it at this moment. Only God can play God. And so there's no making a wrong decision in that way. It cannot happen. Now, as a result of your decision, you may feel some things. You may then feel guilt, remorse, blame, those are part of your healing journey. That's part of your healing journey. And know that your animal companion is perfectly fine. They don't get stuck between worlds. They have made it safely to the other side. They are happy on the other side because they're still connected with you. They are still right here with you. And I mean it literally, they are right with you. Their energetic soul doesn't go anywhere. It just doesn't go anywhere. So that's part of your healing journey and why they want to send us signs, why they want to reach out to us and send us messages to help us heal. Well, why do we have to go through the pain in the first place? We could go into maybe someday we should just have an in-person get together, all of us, and talk about these deep philosophical things. Why did we even choose this? Why did we choose to have a pet? I mean, and by choice, I mean, before we even came into our physical body. If we knew we were going to go through this kind of pain, we'd have never signed up for it. Well, yes, we did. And yes, we do. Because we are meant to not just experience the feelings. Can you imagine being an all-knowing being? So let's just say, for example, we've got this God, divine creator of all things, hanging out there in the midst of the universe all by itself. And it knows everything. And at the blink of with a snap of a finger, the blink of an eye, the twinkle of a nose, that anything and everything could happen. What an existence would that be? And so this divine creator says, we are going to create this really cool place. We're going to call it Earth. It's going to be the Disney World of the universe. And I'm going to send bits and pieces of me down there, and they're going to forget everything, and they're going to experience everything from the depths of despair, because how would we know what the heights of joy felt like unless we felt the depths of despair? And we're going to feel everything in between. And we are going to have a way to help restore, to get to that place where we come back to the highest possible version of ourselves, and then we cross to the other side and we exist like, I don't even know where it goes from there. That's why I say we should have deep philosophical conversations. But that's why we go through some of this, because we choose to experience everything, knowing that in the end it all works out, knowing that in the end everything is just fine. Sorry, I really waxed philosophical there for a minute. Who's laughing? Cheryl, what are you laughing at? I have to go back and read some of the comments I'm missing here. I see them fly by, and I don't have a person who can cue me into the most important comments. An in-person get together. You'll come down from Canada. I am going to try to make this happen. More and more places are popping up for me that are able to host get-togethers, but I suppose we should have some kind of I hate the word retreat, but we should have some place where we can all get together and talk about this. I'm sorry that if I've missed some questions. I entered Gary's energetic field. I felt pure panic and then fainted. You believe that was what he was feeling, and that's how he knew he had enough. Oh, Kali, thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. One of the questions that this person had for me was, well, how will I know when it is time? Because I have looked into my dog's eyes, and I haven't seen that, because I described how Lucy looked at me one day after her 3 months. She looked at me one day after she had an accident. She was kind of laying there and she couldn't get up out of her own excrement. She looked at me with eyes, and that's how you know. You can ask your animal companion to show you. You can ask them to show you, or you can ask them just to tell you when it's time, and then you'll just know. You will just know. Especially when we do these practices. I want to show you, we're going to do some practice. There's some practices that you can do to help you be in tune better with your own intuition. Love people who love animals this much. Z, yes, right? Absolutely. We are so in love with everybody in this community because we're so devoted to our animal companions and to each other. So help us. We're all holding each other's hands as we're walking this journey. This beautiful journey, not just of healing. It's not just of healing from the grief and the pain, because we are growing. Have you seen us? Look at these, the things that we talk about. We have lifted each other up to a higher level, like the tide that raises all ships. Only our tide is not going back down anymore. We just keep going up and up and up. Okay, so let's answer these couple quick questions. I'm going to put it all into perspective. I'm talking, my brain is thinking faster than my mouth can say the words. Is my pet safe on the other side? Absolutely, 100%. There's no such thing that they're not. Every single soul crosses safely to the other side. And I'm not going to go down the philosophy of, well, what about the bad people? And I have lots of thoughts about that, but that's for another conversation. Feel their presence. As much as this person who reached out to me did not feel that feeling, that knowing, so not feeling it is a feeling. Feel their presence. They are right by you. I can call on my beautiful animal companions at any time and know they are right with me. And it's whether they're in the physical or not in the physical. I was with 3 other dogs this weekend and not with Gypsy, and I could feel Gypsy in the one little doggy, Dory, who slept with me every night. And they don't. There's 3 little dogs. They all sleep together on their mom and dad's bed. Dory came and slept with me every night, and I knew that she was allowing Gypsy to be with me through her. There's so much more to this existence than we know. There is so much more, and we just need to experience it. Will the pain ever end? Not in the way that you think that it will. Will the pain ever go away? Will I ever stop feeling this agony? That I can say yes. The agony goes away. The depth of despair goes away. Does the pain ever fully go away? You guys tell me over here in the comments, because I think the answer is no. There's always some little level. Today, as I was driving home from the airport, and there was a yellow lab hanging his head out of the back of a Jeep, and it looked just like Jack, and it made me cry. It made me cry for the want of my beautiful boy Jack. Even with all that I do, the sadness was there as if it was yesterday. The sadness was there. So does it ever fully go away? No. And you know what? I don't think I wanted to. I don't think I wanted to, because that memory, even though I started crying like a silly baby, that memory of him filled my heart with so much love that I don't think I want that feeling to go away. I like that reminder. It felt good in my heart to be reminded of his beautiful love. So it may not fully go away. It may always still be there in some form or another, but the depth of the hurt goes away. And we begin to feel relief, and we don't ever forget. We don't ever forget the pain. We just don't ever forget, even though that we may not experience that depth of pain. Do other animals feel like this? They do not. They may go through a depression. They may go through a loss because they're missing the physical presence and companionship of their animal companion. But here's the big difference between people and animals. Our animal companions, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of crossing over. They're not afraid of the transition. They don't, and that's not to say like when a deer gets chased by a mountain lion that it's not running for its life because it's afraid of what's going to happen. There is a primal fear there. But do they sit around and dwell on the fact, oh my gosh, what if I go to hell? What if I die tomorrow and I haven't taken care of my children's financial situation? What happens if none of that? They don't overthink the transition. So they may feel an emotional response to the loss of an animal companion, but they don't dwell on it. Okay, sorry, I'm just feeling very thirsty. I know people hate to see other people drink on camera. I can't help it, especially when I start talking. So you already know the answer. How do you know to begin to trust yourself? So I got this really cool, I can't wait to show you guys, this really cool new, camera. Come on, dude. I'm not watching. I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at the comments, not saying this camera is going to make me nuts. All right, hang on. Let's see if we can make this work. Here comes my finger. Sometimes if you do this, look at that. We got it back. When I was at a little metaphysical shop at Crystals and all these fun things in Denver this weekend, I found this really cool new oracle card deck, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. and it's got a really cool, I have to get used to all the cards yet. I'm not familiar with them, but this is these are the cards. Look, I pulled right onto the deer. Isn't that, we're going to have to read what it says about the deer. We're going to do deer right now. But it's got they're very, and that just showed the phoenix. So whoever needs to see the phoenix, all the cards in front of it just dropped away from it. Here's the tarantula. But they're very nicely drawn cards. Let's see what the deer has to say. We are going to see what the deer says. And there's a reason I'm doing this. I'm not even used to the book. So most oracle cards come with a guidebook. And I did a little reading for my daughter this weekend, who also did not understand the difference between oracle cards and tarot cards. So I'm going to share that with you too. Once I can find the deer. The deer is, they're not in alphabetical order. Why would you not put your little animals in alphabetical order? The deer is an earth animal. There it goes. Open right to it. Loving, intuitive, graceful. Are you freaking kidding me? Can you guys see that? The mother, Nana. Loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender. It's especially potent for new parents. Oh, that's interesting. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates a sense of grace, and it calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near. I wonder if that means even a sign of reincarnation. Wouldn't that be amazing? Or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Wow. Okay. Thank you, my little dear. Thank you, my little dear. The reason that I'm bringing up oracle cards. Kyle, you have a tattoo of a phoenix. Yeah, there's no making this stuff up when it happens. Start to or stop believing that things are coincidences, because there's no such thing as a coincidence. If you go back to Abraham Hicks, one of the very first spiritual teachers I ever followed, you listen to Abraham Hicks, coincidence, not coincidence. So like an incident that occurs, it's a coincident. There's a synchronicity. That's what things are. They happen all the time, and the more you open yourself up to it, the more synchronicities you're going to see, and the more it creates a beautiful cycle. The more synchronicities you experience, the more you have, and it improves the overall quality of your life. Things start to line up, and life gets easier. It gets easier, and things flow smoothly, and yeah, that's really it. Things start to flow with ease and grace and peace when we allow those things to come in. So I use these for help with intuition. I have a couple different decks that I really, really like. Oracle cards are a way for you to begin to trust your intuition. I teach in my courses. I will teach you how to use these in much more depth. But they're not tarot cards. They do not predict the future. They do not tell you, oh my gosh, the cup of death is around the corner. Don't take a turn. Don't take a left turn when you go on. Don't go on vacation, because it's not anything like that. These are meant to help you receive messages that you don't otherwise trust. Now, for me, I love, you got my big pen, my little notebook. I love to do, I started to call it angelic writing. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to call it something else. Automatic writing. I trust my intuition to give me the information that I'm looking for now. When I begin to, I take out my pen, I sit down, I tune out everything, because I say there is nothing in this whole wide world more important than the message I'm about to receive. And I write the things that come into my head. So the thoughts that come from the field into my mind, I write everything down, and it begins to flow into a certain order. I completely trust my intuition, but it's taken me years to get to this point. So we have little tools that we use to help us. and one of them can be oracle cards. Now, if you are not, so the Animal Spirit Guidebook, it's all different kinds of animals, everything from tigers and lions to tarantulas and sharks, bears, and also mystical animals, unicorns and sea serpents. And so there's all different little creatures in here, and each card comes with a message. The message is meant for you, but it comes from, it's a way for us to take the information that we might not trust because we might think that we're making it up. And so we then use something like oracle cards to help get us the message that we've been looking for. So when I said, I wonder if the deer, if the deer has anything to do with reincarnation and Nana, and sure enough doesn't, or doesn't have anything to do with coming back in another form, and sure enough doesn't say the mother under the word deer. So you can't make those kinds of things up. I also love, it's still packed, my angel deck. If you're still feeling like, oh gosh, how do I know that the information is coming from a source that I can trust? If you open your heart with love, that's the only kind of messages that you're going to get. But then do something that has angels on it. Do something that's just full of love. Don't go to any of the decks that don't speak to you. So that's why I like to use oracle cards. You can use. I'm trying to think of another option for you if you really want to start to trust your intuition. I like to use the writing. I like to use my oracle cards. Why is this eluding me? So maybe I'm not meant to talk about whatever that other option is. Oh, just if you don't want to do automatic writing, I've tried to come up with a little name for it, and it doesn't need it. It doesn't need some fancy name like soul reflection. Really, truly, that's what I was thinking of. Take a book and take your pen and just start to journal. When you are feeling that you need some assistance or guidance or insight about making a decision, let's just say you want to ask your animal companion if they're okay on the other side. You just sit down and start doing something. Start drawing hearts on your paper. Start drawing the word love. Start drawing their name. And the next thing you know, they are going to come to you in your thoughts. And you're going to start to receive little messages. And if you don't get a little, so you don't get a little, you're like, I'm waiting for a word. I'm waiting for a word. I didn't get a word. What is it? Just let it go. And let yourself feel something in your heart. Or maybe you'll start to get a little tingling in your hands. I think somebody mentioned that. You'll start to get a little tingling, or you'll hear a sound. Something will come to you that will let you know that that they are safe on the other side. That's just one question. Did I make the decision too soon? You do the same thing. Sit down and write a little letter to them, asking them that question, and you'll get the answers. You will get the answers, and you'll begin to trust yourself. And the more you talk to them, like Sherry was saying today, she was talking to Phoebe and Piper as if they were standing right next to her. Talk to them the way that I do to Jack and Lucy. Just talk and have the conversation. You'll get the insights that you're looking for. They're not going to keep it from you. They're not going to go, nope, not today. Nope, that was a trick. Nope. They want to share that information with you. I can't read my handwriting on here. Is it too soon for another? Oh, I wrote infinite guidance. You have access to infinite guidance. Let that word sink in for a minute. Infinite, forever and ever and ever. You have for the biggest library in the whole wide world. The library of the universe, the mind of the universe. You have access to information that you don't even know exists yet until you ask the question, until you think the thought. Your thoughts go out there and draw in the information that you're looking for. So you have infinite guidance. Listen with your heart. Really, that's the big secret. Your heart knows, and you know. Your heart knows the answers. You know. Every single one of us has probably been in a place where we were making a decision and something was telling us, don't do that, don't do that. And we went and did it anyway. And what was the outcome? So we need to listen, start listening. All right, last thing I'm going to say about this, because I see the time. I've been talking and talking and talking. Oh, okay. Sharon's asking me to read the Phoenix card. I will. I absolutely will. Hey, my outdoorsy adventures. Thank you. Thank you and welcome. All right, hang on. I'm going to read the Phoenix. I'm just going down a little bit. Animal spirit deck is the best. Oh, okay. So did you have this too, Pat? Did you might have even isn't you might have suggested this in one of our videos. And when I walked into the store in Denver, there was a whole wall of them. They're in this beautiful silver box. I had to leave the box behind. It's at my daughter's house because I couldn't fit it in my luggage. But it's got this really cool. I posted it on my Instagram. I posted a big picture of it. But it is. I walked into the store and one whole wall was these silver boxes, iridescent, and all the rainbows are. I mean, the light was flickering off them. Drew me right to it. So, Pat, if that's the case, I don't call that was not a coincidence. That was a synchronicity. And I walked into that store and the wall was full of them for a reason. Now when your card, Golly, that's hilarious. Okay, you did, Pat. That's fantastic. So I wish that I might have my daughter go back and take a picture of that whole wall, the whole bank of them, like this big wall full of these animal spirit guidebooks. Okay, let's read the Phoenix, then we'll wrap it up. I gotta, it was in here. It'll come to me. Look, it'll pop right out. Look, there it is. All right, so this is the Phoenix card. There we go. And I will read the Phoenix and we'll see what that says. And then we will wrap things up for tonight. You know, I'm kind of liking that these past couple of weeks, these have really been impromptu conversations and we just kind of see where the message goes. And it just fills me up, makes me feel really good. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, Phoenix, I've got the sea serpent. Ooh, the sea serpent has a long one. Phoenix. Okay, the Phoenix is a unique card here. Let me see what they say. The Phoenix is one of the spirit cards. The Phoenix, free from suffering. I'm looking at the picture too, and these little circles. So if you saw this little circle, that represents spirit. So the little halo above the Phoenix. The Phoenix, freedom from suffering and past karma, reincarnation. The Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning any bridges. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, which is called tapas. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize that we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the Phoenix, read slower, Elaine. At that very moment, the spark of the Phoenix is lit and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we've done. The stuckness and the dead weight fall into the ashes and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign that the fire of transformation is upon your wings. And the Phoenix, and it says that I'm so unfamiliar with the book just yet. So the more I learn about this, as one more thing, the Phoenix and the first chakra. The ancient yogis believed that our heaviest karma resides in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called the Muladhara or the root chakra. The ascent of the Phoenix begins here. So that is down in your core. The ascent of the Phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash toward the navel center. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. And so essentially we can always talk a little bit more about the chakras. It's everything that we're holding, all that density that we are holding in the lower part of our body, it's released. And that Phoenix is allowing us to release that, and it frees us of that density that we hold there. Okay, all right, guys. So much central. Oh, Kali, I'm so glad. Look at that. Everybody needs to hear that card. Okay. Speaking of readings, I have resent an email about 2 months ago for a reading for my cat, for my god cat Winnie. I will take a look. I will absolutely take a look, Cheryl. I know. I have, it's the video part. I can, the readings. I love to sit with all of your beautiful animal companions. It's turning on the camera and then relaying those messages being via camera that holds me up. I will. I absolutely will. And also for Pat, for your son too. Don't want to think I'm being a pain. Don't worry, guys. Nobody's being a pain. No, there. You know why? Because I know we just want to be able to. We just want to be able to hear from them, and we want to know what they have to say. So and especially for all my little channel members, I will take care of that for you guys. All right, my friends, that wraps it up. Hour and 10. We went pretty far. You can send an email. Oh, you send me. You guys can send me emails. Absolutely. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting each other. Thank you for watching. And I will talk to you all again soon. Until next time, may animals light your way. Take care, everybody.